We start to bring ourselves, mind and body, onto the mat. And just letting go of anything else that's going on today. So take a moment to connect down, just feeling into each part of the body that's touching your mat, touching the earth. Feel the weight down through the sitting bones, the touch of the feet, the legs. With each exhale, allow any tension that you might be holding in your body just to melt down through these contact points. So we release this tension back down into the earth. And then with each inhale, drawing up new energy up through the spine, right the way from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. So just as plants and trees do, we have this constant energy exchange occurring with the earth. This feeling of being connected. So from here you can keep your eyes closed or gently opening them and just bring the soles of the feet together. So coming into a diamond shape with the legs, so the heels a couple of feet away from the groin, hands rested onto the shins. And then inhaling, sit up nice and tall, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, fold forwards, just allowing the forehead to round down towards the feet. There's no right or wrong as to how far you can reach. Again, working with that exchange of energy with the earth. That exhale, softening and releasing all the tension that might be there. And as you inhale, drawing that new energy up the spine. Good, and then inhaling, come up to sitting. So straightening your legs out in front of you. If the hamstrings haven't had a stretch this morning, or they're feeling a bit tight, keep a little bend into your knees. And then sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in, reach up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, fold forwards. And just stop when you meet that first bit of resistance from the hamstrings. So we're not going into some really deep stretch. Just starting to wake up, back of the legs. Find that first bit of tension and breathe into it. See if you can allow it to soften as you exhale. We're using the breath to slowly creep down, head down towards the knees or the shins. Good. And then inhaling, slowly coming back up to sitting. Good. So from here, come forwards onto all fours. Good. So we're going to tuck the toes under and come back into a squat. So here, get the toes level, middle toe sort of roughly pointing forwards, or the second toe, and spread your toes wide. See if you can get them wide on the mat. And then we're going to slowly, keeping all the toes in contact, so we're going to try and keep that little one down, slowly come forwards onto the knees. So finding a nice stretch through the bottom of the feet. And that energetic exchange with the earth, the exhale to release and soften. As we inhale, drawing up new energy. And then slowly come forwards onto all fours. Lift up your feet, give your toes a wiggle. Get the life back into them. Good. And then we're going to move on to the tops of the feet. Hello, Finn. So tucking the toes under. We're coming onto the toenail side. So the toenail side is down towards the mat. And we're curling the toes under up to the knuckles of the toes and then sitting back towards the heels. So you can either sit up and have the hands rested onto the thighs, quite intense. If it's too much, you keep the hands down to the floor. Again, we're trying to keep across the whole of the foot. So notice if that little toe edge is lifting. So if you can just take the weight out slightly and have the heels pointing up. If you're anything like me, I will tend to try and rock the heels inwards to escape the discomfort of the little toe edge. Again, really allowing your body to soften into this. Soften your face and your shoulders. And then come forwards onto all fours. So untucking your toes, give the feet a wiggle. And from here, moving into your cat-cow. So on the inhale, extending the spine and lifting the gaze. Exhaling and rounding, tuck chin to chest. So introducing your Ujjayi breath. And finding that rhythm of breath and movement. Good. One more each way. And from here, we're going to come into a cow. So that nice extension of the spine, tuck the toes under, walk your hands forwards a little bit on the mat, and really push back from the sitting bones, extending back into your downward dog. So here, keeping that lovely extension of the spine. We're going for length. Good. It doesn't matter if the hamstrings are too tight to allow the legs to straighten. Keep that bend. Go for the length of the spine. Once we've got that length, feel the shoulder blades just engage gently onto the back of the rib cage. Gently pulling the front ribs in. And then finding that little activation of Mula Bandha. So lifting gently around the perineum. And from here, then pushing the tops of the thighs back and allow the heels to drop down. And allow any tension to release. It's a strong pose. So feel the strength and the stability, but then allow any excess tension to release and soften. Let your jaw relax. Let the neck lengthen. Yeah, just holding for 2 more breaths. And then walk your feet forwards to the top of the mat. So coming into Uttanasana. From here, having the feet hip distance and parallel. And find that weight distribution through the feet. If you're rocking back into the heels, bring it forward slightly. So we're aiming to get the hips over the ankles. And then walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. Then coming back to the center and walk the hands over to the left side. Then coming back to the middle. So bring the hands to the backs of the hips, lift into your flat back again, finding that extension through the spine. Press down into the feet as you inhale and rise up to standing. Bring your arms down by your side in Tadasana and come back to your breath. And from here on your inhale, floating your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, back to your downward dog. Inhaling, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down, Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, hands to Namaskar. Inhale, floating your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, lift and lengthen to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhale, folding down, Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, hands to Namaskar. And inhale, floating your arms up, so root down as you lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, lifting to your flat back. Feel the back muscles engage. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin if you want to. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, push back to your downward dog. Inhaling, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, hands to Namaskar. So here, take the feet slightly wider than hip distance. So we're going to start with a tiny bend in the knees. On your inhale, taking the arms up. Exhaling, forward fold. So a little bent legs, Uttanasana. I'm going to interlace the fingers. So take your 2 forefingers and wrap them around the big toes. So the palms are facing in. And then put your weight down. So tread onto those fingers. So holding this yogi grip as you inhale, lift to your flat back, look forwards. On the exhale, push the tops of the thighs back. So we're keeping the same as we do in a downward dog, that length through the spine, and then working on lengthening through the backs of the legs. Take a nice deep breath in as you lengthen through the crown of the head. And then on the exhale, drawing the elbows out to the side, pull on the toes and pull the forehead down towards the shins. So breathe into this. Again, allow the neck to release. Keep that bind between the fingers and the toes, drawing the elbows out to the side, shoulder blades gently engaged onto the back of the rib cage. Good. And then on your next exhale, releasing the bind. As you inhale, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward dog. Inhaling, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down, Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, hands to Namaskar. Again, taking the feet slightly wider than hip distance. So if you want to, you can stay with the previous variation, or we can go into a slightly deeper variation onto the hands. So a little bend into the knees. Inhaling, taking the arms up. And on your exhale, forward fold. Good. So either, same as the previous, looping the hands around the toes, or we're going to place the back of the hand to the mat and tread the feet onto the palm of the hand so the toes are right the way up to the crease of the wrists. Good. And then on your inhale, lift into your flat back, look forwards. Keep this lift as you exhale and then push the tops of the thighs back. Pull up through the kneecaps. Get the fronts of the legs active so the hamstrings know to release. Good. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, draw the elbows out to the side, forehead towards the knees. Keep the weight forwards, so you're really treading down onto the hands. You're just holding for a couple more breaths. And on your next exhale, releasing from the bind. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling, lifting to cobra or upward dog. Exhaling, push back to your downward dog and hold it here. So again, here, find that length from the hands, right the way up the arms. Feel the shoulder blades gently plug into the back of the rib cage. Length through the side body. And then pushing the tops of the thighs back, pulling up through the kneecaps and allowing the heels to drop. Good. On your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down, Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to Namaskar. Inhale into Tadasana and come back to your breath. Good. From here, on your inhale, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. Exhale, roll back to your downward dog. Inhaling, step the right foot forwards, lower the left heel to the mat, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhaling, lowering the hands down, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling, step the left foot forwards, right heel to the mat, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, and hold it here. Observing your breath and just allowing any unnecessary tension to release down through the hands, the feet, and out through the mouth or the nose. Sometimes a good sigh out through the mouth is a good way of releasing any excess energy. Good. On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down, Uttanasana. Bend your knees. On your inhale, sweep your arms up to Utkatasana. Exhaling, come to standing, hands in Namaskar. Inhaling, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, lift to your flat back. Exhale, step back, chaturanga, knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, push back to your downward dog. Inhaling, step the right foot forwards, keep the back heel lifted, come into your high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhale, back to your downward dog. Inhale, step the left foot forwards. So coming up into your high lunge, back heel pointing up. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back to your downward dog and hold. Good. On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down, Uttanasana. Bend your knees. On your inhale, sweep your arms up to Utkatasana. Exhaling, come to standing, hands in Namaskar. Good. Inhale, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling, step the right foot forwards. So coming into your high lunge. Now step the back foot part of the way forwards. So there's about 2.5 feet between the feet. Keep the feet at hip distance. So like a kind of train track, rather than one behind the other. There's a little space. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift the toes here. Both toes, straightening the front leg. And pull up to the midline. So push down into the feet, draw up and pull the inner thighs together. As you inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, keeping the connection to the midline, fold halfway forwards. Pulling back with that right hand as you inhale, reach forwards. And on the exhale, fold down and bring that right hand to the outside edge of the foot or to the shin, wherever it kind of meets. And breathe. So again, gently drawing the forehead down towards the shin or the knee. Any strain in the knee or feeling it behind the knee joint, keep a micro bend in the knee. Good. So now pressing down into the feet as you inhale, come up to standing. And on your exhale, lower your hands down, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, push back to your downward dog. On the inhale, step the left foot forwards, take the arms up. So coming into your high lunge. Step the back foot forwards. So the back toes turned out slightly. Front toes facing forwards, and keep that little bit of space. So it's easier to square the hips off to the front of the mat. Lift the toes, push down through the feet, and then connect to your midline, straightening that front leg, hugging the inner thighs together. Good. Inhaling, take the right arm up. And on the exhale, start to fold halfway forwards. So here, we're not just trying to draw the left hip back, we're hugging the inner thighs together. As you inhale, lengthen. And on the exhale, fold down. So bringing hand to the outside edge of the foot or the shin, wherever it goes, and breathe into it. So keeping that connection through the inner thighs, finding length. Allowing that release through the hamstrings, draw up through the front knee. Good, and then pressing down into your feet as you inhale, come up to standing. Exhaling, lowering your hands down, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward dog and hold it here. Again, observing your breath. Observing the connection points between your body and the earth. Good. On your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, folding down, Uttanasana. Bend your knees on your inhale, sweep your arms up to Utkatasana. Exhaling, come to standing, hands in Namaskar. And on your inhale, sit down to Utkatasana. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling, step the right foot forward, sweep the arms up and come into your high lunge. Good. So from here, we can take the arms to the side if we want to make it a little bit easier. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, fold halfway forwards, lift the back leg. We're going to straighten the front leg and transition into Virabhadrasana 3. Good. On your inhale, come up to standing. Bring the left knee out in front of you and take hold of the sole of the left foot. Good. So we're going to stand tall in that standing leg. Inhaling, lift up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, kick the foot out in front of you. So that left leg. Inhaling again, lengthen, lift through the front body. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Good. Inhaling, coming up to standing. Take the arms up. And as you exhale, step back, lower the hands down, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhaling back to downward dog. Inhaling, step the left foot forwards, sweep your arms up, come into your high lunge. And then take the arms out to the side. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhaling as you come forwards, Virabhadrasana 3. So flex that back foot, connect to the midline. Inhaling, coming up to standing, bring the right leg out in front. Take hold of the right foot. As you inhale, stand up tall. Exhaling, kick the right leg out in front of you. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold, forehead to shin or knee. As you inhale, releasing that right foot. Exhaling, step it back, lower the hands down, chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward dog and hold it here. Good. On your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down, Uttanasana. Bend your knees on your inhale, sweep your arms up to Utkatasana. Exhaling, come to standing, hands in Namaskar. So we'll do the same thing once again. Now you're more prepared. On your inhale, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga. Inhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right foot forwards, come into your high lunge. So you can keep the arms lifted if you want to make it a little bit harder. On the exhale, fold halfway forwards. So transferring the weight to the front foot, come into Virabhadrasana 3. Flex that back foot. Connect to your midline, hugging the inner thighs together. And on your inhale, come up to standing and bring the left knee out in front of you. So take hold of the sole of the left foot. Push into that standing leg. As you inhale, lift up out of the standing leg. And on the exhale, kick the left foot straight out in front of you. Doesn't matter if it doesn't fully straighten. Take a nice deep breath in as you lengthen through the front body. And then as you exhale, fold forwards. It might be enough just to get your balance standing, holding the knee. If you need a little bend in the standing leg just to start with, go for it. Good. And then on your inhale, release that foot. Keep it lifted, extend the arms up. As you exhale, step back to your high lunge, lower the hands down, chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling, step the left foot forward, so coming into your high lunge. Again, whichever variation suits, arms out to the side or arms up. On the next exhale, fold halfway forwards. And transfer to Virabhadrasana 3. So hug the inner thighs together. Keep that connection to the midline so we're not tipping. Inhaling, come up to standing, bring the right knee out in front. Take hold of the right foot. So push down into that standing leg. If you need a micro bend, have a little micro bend and then work towards straightening. Inhale, stand up tall. And exhaling, fold forwards, extend that leg out. If it's wobbly, allow the foot, the standing foot, to move as you wobble. Let it correct itself. We're not rigid. We're not concrete buildings. We need to be able to move with this flow. So releasing the foot as you inhale, take the arms up. Exhaling, step back to your high lunge. Lower the hands down, chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward dog. Hold it here. Good. So from here, on your inhale, float the right leg up. So we're coming into a three-legged dog, keeping that connection to the midline. Push down through the left heel and push back through the right heel. A nice deep breath in. And then step that right foot between your hands. Lower the left knee to the mat. Just allow the hips to sink forwards. So here, walking your hands onto the inside of the right leg. Bend the elbows and bring the elbows down towards the floor. So if you want to here, you can stay here. If you want to, you can straighten the back leg. So we're going to work into a bind. Or how, you ask? You're going to take the right arm underneath the right leg. And then you're going to lift the left arm, wrap it round, and take hold of the right hand. So other arm, that right arm underneath, Lynn. Let me swap round so you can see what's going on here. So the right arm goes underneath and reaches round, and the left hand takes hold. Have a little play. So that left arm, you need to keep this grounded connection. So keep the hips forwards, Tina. Stay in your low lunge. It's hard. Good. Now, Lynn, take that left shoulder back just a little bit. Stay low in your lunge. Nice. Good. Good. And then release. Come back to your lizard. Lower the hands either side of the front foot. Step back, chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward dog. Hold it here for a couple of breaths. Good. On your inhale, lift the left leg. So three-legged dog. So here, rather than just kicking the foot up, we're trying to keep this connection to the midline, hugging the inner thighs together, pushing down through the right heel, pushing back through the left. Good. Nice deep breath in. And then step the left foot between the hands. Good. So pushing the hips forwards. Walk your hands onto the inside of the front leg and bend the elbows and come down. Again, it might be enough to stay here, or you can just work into straightening the back leg. Find what works for you, but if you tried the bind on the other side, go on this side. Left arm under, and then reach the right arm round. So keep the connection to the feet. We're not just dropping into this. We still want a little connection through Mula Bandha. That tiny lift through the above the perineum. Good, and then lower the hands down either side of the front foot. Step back, chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling back, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, and hold it here. It's again on the inhale, lifting this right leg, coming into your three-legged dog. So keeping the hips squared off to start with. Bend the right knee, bringing the heel towards the sitting bone. And then open that right knee and hip out to the side. And lift the knee. Push down through the left heel. So the hips are opening out, but the shoulders stay square. Notice if you're dropping into that left armpit, push into the right hand more. Good. Inhaling, straighten that right leg. And then bring the right knee forwards, coming into your pigeon. So the right knee comes forwards, turn out from the hip, placing the knee behind the right wrist and the ankle somewhere behind the left wrist, and then walk the left leg back. Bring the hands back alongside the hips, roll the shoulders back. So find that length through the spine, open through the front body, lift the gaze, take the arms up if it feels okay. Find the variation that works for you. Take a nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, fold forwards. So again, finding this exchange with the earth, this lovely release of energy as you exhale. Letting go of tension. Good. And then slowly walking your hands back up. So bring the hands to the mat, shoulder distance. Tuck your back toe, lift up the back knee, and step back to your downward dog. Good. On the inhale, floating the left leg up. So the hips are square. Bend the left knee, heel towards the sitting bone. And then push into both hands to keep the shoulders square as you open out to the left side. Push down through that right heel. Good. As you inhale, straightening that left leg and then squaring the hips off, bending the left knee, bring it forwards, turning out into your pigeon on this side. So it doesn't matter if the left shin isn't parallel with the front of the mat. Find what works for you in your knees and your hips. Bring the hands back alongside the hips. And finding that length. As you inhale, if you did on the other side, take the arms up. Otherwise, you can keep the hands down, forward slightly if you want to, or maybe one arm up. And breathe. Good. Take a nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, fold forwards. Good. So Tina, notice if you're sitting onto that left sitting bone, just lift over a little bit to the right. Yeah. Good. And then slowly coming back up. Again, hands shoulder distance, tuck the back toe. Lift up your back knee and step yourself back to your downward dog. So just holding it here for a couple of breaths. Just feeling that release, feeling through the hips, the hamstrings, keeping that length through your spine. Good. And then lower down to your knees. So from here, come to lying on your back. And have your knees bent, feet flat to the mat. So we're going to lift up the hips, move the hips to the left side of the mat and place them back down. Straighten the right leg straight down the mat. Left foot onto the right thigh and take the left arm out to the side shoulder height. Then place your right hand onto the left knee. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, twist over to the right side, drawing that left knee down towards the floor, and turn your gaze towards your left hand. So we're keeping this left shoulder to the mat as we come into this twist. If you have another variation of a reclined twist that would feel a bit nicer for your body today, by all means do that. So breathing into the places that feel a bit stuck. Good. And then releasing the knee on the inhale, come back up to the center. Bend both knees, feet flat to the mat. And then lift the hips and move them over to the right side of the mat. So straighten your left leg straight down and place the right foot onto the left thigh. Take your right arm out to the side shoulder height with the palm up. Left hand onto right knee. Nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, twist. So keeping this right shoulder to the mat and then gently drawing that right knee down. Turning the gaze to the right hand if it feels okay for your neck. Any discomfort in the neck, keep the face or the head facing up towards the ceiling. Gently tuck the chin, just keep the back of your neck nice and long. Good. And then on your inhale, slowly come up to the center. Good. So bring the hips back to the middle of the mat. Gently hug your knees in towards your chest. So hug them in tight. Let the back of the hips lift off the mat. Good. And then circle your knees in one direction. So we're just giving the lower back a nice little massage onto the mat and change the direction of the circles. And then come back to the center and extend your arms and legs down the mat and come into Shavasana, or you can come up to a seated position to finish in meditation, whichever you prefer. So from here, as you're lying in Shavasana, feel down again through the points of your body that are in contact with the earth. What sensations do you feel? Feel the connection to your breath, to this pranic energy that surrounds us. And we have access to 24 hours a day. Observe as it flows in and out through your nose. As we connect to the earth through this energy, this constant flow of release, letting go of the tension of anything that no longer serves us. And then we can use the breath to draw in this clean, fresh energy. And we can access this at any time during the day if we just take a minute to connect. to remind ourselves that we are connected. So give your fingers and toes a wiggle. And gently hug your knees in towards your chest. Do a little rock from side to side. And then roll over onto one side and come up and find a comfortable sitting position. So before we finish, we're going to end with a couple of minutes of Nadi Shodhana, our alternate nostril breathing. So taking the right hand and bringing the two forefingers to the third eye. So using the thumb to close off the right nostril, and we're using the ring finger and the baby finger to close the left. So we start with the right nostril closed and inhale through the left. And then we close the left and exhale through the right. Then inhaling right. Swap and exhale left. Inhale left. And exhale right. So keep continuing with your breath. As here we start to balance the energies within the body. The Ida in Pingala, the masculine, the feminine, the logical, the creative. So we're going to finish as you exhale through the left nostril. Don't rush. And when you have finished, just releasing your hands down and coming back to your natural breath. From here, bring your hands in front of your heart center into prayer. So we'll close the class chanting 3 Oms together. So taking a nice deep breath in. Fully exhale. And inhale for Om. And then from here, just gently bowing your head. Namaste. Thank you, guys.